Alright, we're going to go ahead and take a few minutes here to review the website Pixton. I like this one because that you can log in with your Google account, a lot of customization, and a lot of control. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on Login. I'm going to choose here this Login with Google. I'm going to choose my Google account. And it may ask that it wants to access some information. That's okay. This brings me to just simply the home screen here. And I'm going to want to go ahead and click on this My Comics, this little pencil. And here is where I'm going to click on this Create a Comic. I'm going to choose a comic strip. Here's where I start to have a couple of options. Advanced is pretty cool. A lot of additional control that you have. Once you go advanced, you can't switch back to beginner. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the beginner mode, and then I'm going to show you how you can switch to the advanced mode if you'd like. You can choose a setting here. Of course, I'm going to want to choose school. And I have a few different school background settings here. I'm going to go ahead and choose this one that looks like it's outside of a classroom. I'm going to want to have a couple of characters talking to each other. I'm going to choose 2 characters. I can always add characters and I can remove characters later on. I'm going to go ahead and start with a conversation between a teacher and a student. So here is the teacher. Character 2 is going to be a student. And it'll go ahead and get this all set up for me, which is nice. So again, these are the 2 characters that it has started. I can see that I can add a character here. I can also add a background. I can change it and go somewhere else if I'd like. I'm going to stick with this setting here. Now once I select a character, you see that I have a few other options here. So I can have these characters looking in different directions. So if I wanted to have my cartoon start with the boy starting that conversation, I definitely would want him on the left side. I always want to make sure that my conversations happen in a scene from left to right, the same way that I read. So in this case, the boy would be talking first, teacher talking second. If I wanted the teacher to talk first, I definitely would want to have that teacher over on the left-hand side, student on the right-hand side. Right now I don't like the way that this teacher is, the way he looks, so I can come down here and click on this preset poses, and I can maybe choose a preset pose. And again, because I have control, I can double click an element and I can go ahead and move that element around. And again, if I want to get this character back to an initial setting, maybe I'm going to have him just standing here. Choose the facial expressions. Maybe he's happy, but the boy, he seems maybe a little scared here. Now flip him around so he's looking in the correct direction. I see I have these little talk bubbles as well. I'm trying to get this out of the way, and again I can move those characters so that they're a little bit out of the scene. If I wanted to delete a character, change their skin color, I can flip them around. And once I go to the next scene, I can go ahead and click on this plus. And it's automatically going to copy everything from this scene into this next scene. And I might say, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and save this panel. I don't really want to save it, or I'm going to delete that whole panel because I want to put them in a different position before I move on to step 2. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of editing going on later on. So that's a pretty simple editing tool. What I also have right here, if I want to switch, I can say, yeah, I want to switch to advanced mode, but I can't switch back to beginner mode once I go over. I'm going to say, yeah, that's going to be okay, because I want more control now. And what you're going to get is you're going to get a much more rich editing tool. So now I can see that I can see that I've got a lot more here. I can add characters, speech bubbles, I can add different props, I can add the background, some more tools that are down here. What I also have full control over is some of the elements that are inside of here as well. I can zoom this in, I can zoom this out, I can move this around, I can still continue to move my characters. One of the things that you will find is in the advanced mode, you have the potential, this one doesn't look like it works, but I have the potential of being able to remove elements as well. So on some advanced backgrounds, I could actually remove this board that's there. So once I'm in this advanced mode, I can't jump back. So it gives me a lot more control. At times a little bit more confusing because I have more things that I can do. I could rearrange the order. And again, once I'm done here, I can go ahead and add a panel. And let's say in this next panel, I wanted it to be zoomed out a little bit more. Or maybe I wanted it to be zoomed in. Because I wanted to focus on the conversation between the teacher and the student. So again, a little bit more confusing just because some of the elements are in different spots. But again, it gives me a lot more control, especially if I'm doing a 3-frame cartoon. I may want to jump to advanced mode, or once I get a little bit more comfortable, jump to advanced mode. I can give myself a little bit more of a cleaner, neater look. Hopefully that gives you a nice little introduction to Pixton. Enjoy, have fun,